Friends, this is Andy coming to you, and I'm going to give you a fun little bass lesson that you can check out and maybe bring into your playing. And I'm really happy to do this for Bass Players United. They've been tremendously supportive of me and everything that I'm doing at the Daily Funk Club. So here we go. Here's a fun little thing that a fun little bass line that you can maybe incorporate into your playing and have some fun with. All right. Now I'll start with just a little bit of a explanation. I kind of come from a R&B, funk, soul, rhythm and blues kind of Americana background. That's kind of my strong suit. That's the area of music where I've done my most playing over the last 35 years, and definitely the area where I've earned the most with my bass guitar over the last 35 years. On gigs, playing those kind of gigs. So I guess that's kind of what I do best. So I think that maybe that's the best offering that I can give. Okay, so this is in the key of G, and it's all about selling the harmony and incorporating this pivot point thing. It goes like this. That's the whole line, and going through kind of a 12-bar blues type of progression. But when we get to the turnaround, where typically it would go to the 5 chord, I'm throwing in a minor chord, a minor 2 rather, up to the 5, and I'm using these major pentatonic turnaround riffs. Bam, on a 5, and then a little minor turn that gets you back to the 1. So let's start at the very beginning and go back to my original explanation, which is this pivoting kind of line where if you watch the right hand closely here, I'm always coming back to that low G, which is the 3rd fret, in the key of G, which is the 3rd fret of the E string. So the first maneuver is to the octave, and then the next maneuver is to the major 3rd, an octave up, which is B natural. We call that the 10th. The 3rd an octave up is the 10th. Back to the octave again, to the minor 6, to the dominant 7. Now this dominant 7 note is real important because this is what is really selling the harmony, in rhythm and blues and rock and roll and funk, that dominant 7 chord is really used a lot. Guitar players really lay on that, and that's kind of sets up the tonality of soul music. It's kind of a defining element. So in this bass line, when I drop that in there, as opposed to the major 7, I'm using the dominant 7. It really sells the tonality. Back to the minor 6 one more time, and then there's a climb up from B, which is the 3rd, C, which is the 4, and D, which is the 5. And incidentally, you could play this with myriad types of right hand technique. You could slap it if you wanted to. You could do all different kinds of little variations, however you wanna interpret it. But that's the basic pitches. Then the next maneuver in the chord change in the chord progression would be up to the C. Same line, same fingering, and then it does a little transition lick to get you back to the 1, which is just chromatically down from the B flat. 1 now. And when I do those little chromatic lines, I'm imagining that I would be doing it with like a horn section. You know what I mean? Ba-da-da-da, you know, everybody doing those hits together. Okay, so now we're back at the 1. And then I do another transition lick. This time I'm climbing up into the minor 2 chord, which is A minor in the key of G. And I'm just chromatically climbing up from F sharp, G, G sharp, A. And then I do a, on the minor 2 chord, I play an A in the bass and the minor 3rd. To sell that it's a minor chord, to sell it, I play that minor 3rd an octave up. Because that'd be called the minor 10, okay? And then I do a little chromatic climb up from the 4 to the 5. Followed by a lick using the D major pentatonic scale. Got it? And then now we're back to the 1. And the same lick on the 1 chord. Get you back to the 1. And then I do a hit on the 5. And another little lick that comes down from the minor 3rd and gets you back to the 1. Okay, I know that's kind of a lot to digest if you're a beginner, but I'll do it again for you real slow. You can always go back and watch it again and pick it apart, but for time's sake, I'm just going to kind of keep plowing right ahead. So here's how the whole line goes. And actually, I'm going to give it to you at a little bit slower tempo, okay? Four chord. Minor 2, 5, 5, So there's the whole line, you know. I used that line in a song that I recorded with my band Beanstalk a long time ago. A similar kind of a line. That tune was called Pike's Peak. So if you want to check that out, I'm sure you could Google Beanstalk Pike's Peak and you'll find it out there. But yeah, that's a great fun bass line. It really grooves hard. It keeps the low sonic space filled up by pivoting back and forth to that low G. You know, the root note of each new chord, and it really helps to sell the harmony, you know, to really establish the harmony, because that's what our job is, you know, we gotta establish the groove, right, and get people, you know, dancing, or at least get their, you know, heads bobbing, and lock in with the drummer, you know, laying it down. And then sell the harmony, you know, really establish the harmony well, so that the singers or whoever the melody instrument can layer their melody over the top. That's the job of the bass player. And of course, getting a good tone. Got to, you know, get your technique to the point where you're not getting a lot of slop or a lot of, you know, kind of messy kind of sloppy kind of playing where you hear a lot of extra stuff in between your notes. You know, like in that particular one, I'm trying to keep the notes kind of short. You know, I'm not playing it open. Like I'm not playing this. can't even do it. I can't even do it. I have to like kind of keep those notes kind of short so that when one rings, it rings up until the point of the other, and then etc., etc. Meaning they're not all ringing it. They're not all ringing at the same time, because that would get murky and muddy. So I just try and keep the, you know, keep them kind of short, but not too short. I'm not doing that either. I'm kind of splitting the difference there. And then, you know, have some fun with it. That minor 2 chord is real fun. You could goof around with that in arpeggiated. You know, there's all kinds of stuff, all different kinds of ways for you to interpret this. Think of it as a skeleton bass line, and then you can kind of adapt it and evolve it to however you want to. All right? So I hope you have fun with that. And thanks again to everybody at Bass Players United for the ongoing support. And I encourage you to check out the Daily Funk Club. We've been having fun. For the last 6 months, I've been building it up slowly, and I feature all different kinds of gear and stuff. I have a bunch of great sponsors that support the Daily Funk Club with gear, so I can keep it interesting by showing different amps and cabs and basses, and then I try and just do some lessons to hopefully help some people with some, you know, with the bass journey, you know, maybe some stuff that you can use. And I also do some really great interviews. And you know, I'm really excited about the interview section. I hope people are checking that out and reading those interviews, because there's some great ones. I mean, like some really big name, like hero level bass players that I'm having the opportunity to interview. And then the final thing is that there's a community section where you can create your own profile and upload your own videos and your own bio, and interact with the other people in the community and kind of help each other out. So I encourage you to check out the Daily Funk Club, and for sure keep supporting Bass Players United, because man, what an amazing amount of worldwide bass players that all come together for Bass Players United. It's like almost it's like almost 1 million or something. That just blows my mind. All right, friends, rock on.